In this episode of Lateral G's, we're going to install this new set of wheels and tires and then repurpose this front sway bar. We picked up a set of Falken Azenis RT 615K Plus tires in the stock 195/60/14 size. We initially planned to just mount these on the stock wheels even though they were in pretty bad condition, but I was browsing Craigslist and found a really good deal on some E30 BMW basket weave wheels. These wheels are 1 inch wider than the stock size and have a slightly different offset. To install them, we picked up this full set of 949 Racing aluminum lug nuts as well as aluminum valve stems. Next, we're going to do some maintenance. I was going through the shed and found some spare parts that I had ordered a while back. A new fuel filter, main relay, O2 sensor, and I also recently bought a new fan relay, but more on that later. The inlet to the fuel filter was looking pretty nasty, so I did cycle the fuel pump a few times to get any gunk out of the fuel line. The other day I took the car to go get an alignment. On the way home I noticed the temperature needle was reading almost all the way hot. I pulled over as soon as I noticed and I realized the radiator fans weren't running. So that's when I picked up the fan relay thinking it might just be a simple fix. I pulled out all 3 fan relays and tested them and all 3 of them are working properly. Once I put them back in, I idled the car until the fans came on, and they seem to be working fine now. We'll have to keep an eye on this problem in the future and make sure it doesn't return. While I was idling the car, I gave it a few revs and noticed some smoke coming from the exhaust. I pulled the plugs and they looked pretty oily. I did a compression test and everything came out okay, so I'm thinking we might have a leak from the valve stem seals, but I'm not 100% sure. Now it's time for the sway bar install. This is the front 19mm sway bar left over from the black Integra parts car. I picked up some ADDCO end links, energy suspension sway bar mounts, and some exhaust clamps to mount this to the rear axle. I'm going to be building some brackets using some scrap 10 gauge mild steel I picked up from my job. This is the design I'm going to be copying. I'm going to make a few changes to it just because the Integra is shaped slightly different than the CRX. That's all for this episode. Thanks for watching.